protests that have led to the death of citizens and the destruction of property. Now, the organizations under the Uchaguzi platform have asked President William Ruto and opposition leader Raila Odinga to embrace dialogue. The group has also condemned the use of excessive force by police in dealing with protesters. Conference on Sunday, the group called for an immediate revival of the bipartisan talks, emphasizing the importance of making it a multi-sectoral representation beyond just the two political factions, arguing that this might give Kenyans a glimmer of hope.
So our position are as follows. We call for an immediate revival of the bipartisan talks and emphasize the importance of making it a multi-sectoral representation. The bipartisan talks gave Kenyans a glimmer of hope as it created a golden opportunity for issues affecting Kenyans to be deliberated and addressed. We reiterate the importance of the talks and the need for our leaders to exercise patience, soberness, selflessness that is needed to resume and see through the talks. We also wish to emphasize the need for the talks to go beyond political interests and genuinely encompass the diverse concerns and aspirations of all Kenyan citizens.
As Uchaguzi platform, we shall be providing any information needed for the bipartisan parliamentary and multi-sectoral dialogue engagement to enable our country move forward.
The group also condemned the use of excessive force by police in dealing with protesters, which has led to hundreds nursing gunshot wounds and others dead.
We are appalled by the alarming incidences witnessed recently, where some peaceful protesters exercising their democratic right to picket were met with unnecessary force and arbitrary and unlawful arrests by the National Police Service. It is disheartening to witness such actions in a country that prides itself on upholding principles of human rights and freedom of speech, and which is sovereign by the Constitution of Kenya, in which the freedom of assembly and expression is enshrined. We call upon the authorities to respect and protect these fundamental rights, allowing peaceful demonstrations to take place without intimidation or undue restrictions.
In Ahero, there was use of tear gas that was thrown into a social justice center, and it got burned down, and it was covered by the media. So was that deliberate? Was it targeting the social justice center? We also saw tear gas being directed to a school, and you saw children suffocating. I mean, were those children the protesters? And we ask for accountability in terms of the restraint by the police on where to direct the tear gas. And is it that when citizens notify the police to protest, does it mean now the date and the notification becomes a battleground? Let's say, for instance, in Kamukunji.
At the same time, the group expressed concern over what they described as degenerating conduct of some of the leaders who use reckless language that may incite violence and chaos, and others assaulting members of the public.
We demand that they understand and appreciate that their officers are held in trust on behalf of Kenyans, and should they violate these ethical duties, we shall boldly and relentlessly call them out of order and take due action. Leaders should use their positions responsibly, promote unity, understanding, and constructive dialogue, rather than adding fuel to the flames of unrest.
The call comes as the country is plunged into political tension amid the ongoing anti-government protests called for by the opposition to picket against the high cost of living and increased taxation.
This week, various civil society and religious leaders called for the repeal of the Finance Act, a call we hereby reiterate and support.
So far, over 300 arrests have been made according to the Interior Ministry, and dozens dead. The Azimio coalition has called for the 9th round of protests this week, even as President Ruto calls for a stop to protests, arguing that they are not a solution to the problems of Kenyans. Brian Amoy, Look Up TV, Nairobi. Now, with the police and